Hello everyone, I am Sundaraman Iyer from Allin1hub and today we are going to look into another interesting app review. We all want to design new things, we all want to create our own user interfaces, the design which we see on the website, the design which we see on our apps. We all want to create it one day or the another. Or we also have some of the other issues such as why is this button placed over here, or why is this button placed over somewhere else, or why is this button missing. I want to learn it. So today we are just going to do that. So there's a good application called as Figma. You can learn Figma, you can understand Figma from over here. You can start learning it. This is absolutely free. And today is not a course review, today is a platform review. So just let's dive into it. So as you can see, I've already logged into Figma, and this is how Figma looks. This is basically a app or an application totally based on designing, sharing. You can create your own teams, you can install your own plugins, you can install your own, you can work on the project right away. You just need to get Figma, you just need to create an account, and that's it. You are done, you are good to go with it. So like it says over here, I have created a new account for this purpose, and you can see that it will take you through the guiding tutorials. You can see how you can import it. uh, Figma also helps you to create new files, and the best part of Figma is that you have two applications, the native one and the browser one, and both run exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. You can just go along with the browser one. You don't need to download the native app, which sits on your Windows and takes up your disk. However, there is not much disk space involved in it. As you can see over here, you have different types of tools which you can take over or take on with it. You have frames. If a designer is watching, he might understand what frames are. Frames are basically used to create prototypes, and prototyping, it is also a prototyping tool, as you might have guessed, right? You can create prototypes, and this is a frame. As you can see, uh, yeah, you can see this is a frame, this is a rectangle. And you can see there are multiple options which you can group them. You there are, let's go with a cliche one. Just do it with a rectangle, corner of some radiuses, and you can just create an another for it. Yeah, you can pretty much do it. It automatically tells you what is the symmetry, what is the alignment, what type of things, what are the effects. Yeah, this effects, you can give every effect from drop shadow, inner shadow, layer blur, background blur, anything. And you can also place an image within it. If you can see, I can also send it backwards. If it is a different color, you might understand. Take red. Okay, so this is how it should look. Okay, and this is the top shadowed one, and let's just put black. Okay, so now you can see that it looks pretty awful, right? Pretty awful. Now what Figma does is it creates a drop shadow for it, and you can select it over here also. This first eclipse, just say off light. You can see, that it gives you variety of options. Say the layer can be differed into multiple things. Okay, now you cannot see the layer unless you have this. You can also create mask components. For that, Figma has an entire tutorial for it. You can just learn it from here. You just have to go through here. It's a YouTube, they have their official channel on that, and they will go through an entire beginner's course. And if you want to get into the advanced stuff, they also have that. You can see it from here. They have the entire playlist for their own course and application. They teach everything over there. And this platform is basically for any designer who doesn't want to get involved into coding, right? You can prototype it. It also shows you how to connect prototype. For that you have to create it in a frame. This has to go into a frame. Okay, and it will ask you which type of background and which type of card you are selecting. Say suppose you are selecting for a phone or you are selecting for a desktop, it will show you the types of desktop. If you are supposed for a watch, paper, anything that you want is available on that. And apart from these things, there are different things also. Okay. mm, just say I want to share, just invite someone. You can also give him the options. You can see there are two options: he can view or he can edit. Okay, you can send the invite by typing in their Gmail, and you are the owner. You can also you can copy the link, paste it on, send it to someone on WhatsApp, email, anything, and they can just directly access it and they can see your design right through uh, that link. And if you give him the correct if you give them the correct options and give them the correct view, finding and editing options, they can even edit the option. They can also edit, and you might see it over here. As you can see, I am currently using myself, and if there are two or multiple users, they will be showing it over here. There the multiple users show over here, and you can also inspect. See, if I just click on it, the entire code is available. How good is that? You don't have to write a single line of code, and entire thing is available for you. Just have to design, and entire code is available at the back end. You don't have to write. For those who just like to design and just design, no coding, literally no coding. You don't have to code a single line. You just have to focus on the UI interface, and the entire coding is done at the back end by Figma themselves, and you don't have to code. There are multiple nitty-gritties such as creating a masking layer. I won't go into that stuff right now because you can learn it from tutorials. Another important thing, it's quite mm, let's do that thing later. Okay. Yeah, they will also guide you to the tutorials and that thing. Okay. Yeah, you can see. Yes, yes, you can share. Yeah, as I told you, the sharing permissions, it will be appearing over here. Okay, and if you are sharing it with multiple users, you don't, no syncing, no waiting, just immediate contact, right? You just can share the link, and any person who is on the internet who has received your mail and has the correct rights can come over and see your design and tell you what are the changes he can make. How good is that? It was, you can search multiple things. Okay, your assets are available completely over here. The icons, plugins, everything is available over here, and you can export anything. They will guide you everything. They will literally tell you every single thing which you want to do on Figma. And if you want to have those things, right, if you want to understand what are the different type of project you're working on, everything they will be guiding you with. Say suppose you don't know what say suppose you don't know what you're trying to learn. Okay, so manage plugins. Say I'll say manage plugins. So what are plugins? Say suppose you don't have you don't if you don't have any characters installed in it. So suppose you don't want to have any characters, or you want to have some pretty good features which you haven't created yet you want to use it. That is what you have to that is what you can do. But for installing plugins you need to have your native app. Okay, and you can see the Gmail and everything over here, and you can create your own team over here. And once you create your own team, they will be able to view the recent changes and multiple things. If you want to collaborate with them, means suppose they will tell you what collaboration is. Just have to go into that stuff. Okay, community is a good thing where you where different developers and designers come into contact with you, and you can learn from them. You can, sorry, you can understand what they are trying to speak and what are the current trends in the modern era, and where the field is heading towards, and what are the plugins which you can understand and learn. So suppose I click on this design systems, you can see that it has for iOS, it has for Pegasus. Yeah, it has you name it, you want it, you name it. Wireframes, you have it over here. Plugins, you have it over here. Just install it. It will ask for a native app. That means you have to go and install it on your native app. Install the plugins, third party plugins. Yeah, you can do that. Overall, this is the best thing for a beginner who is just want to create his own design without getting into coding stuff. I personally use it every time. This is this this I personally do use it for my personal design. I don't go anywhere else. I use it for my projects as well. Okay, if I use it for different types of projects. Say suppose I want to use it for I want to share it over different people. I just click on here and I just share that particular tile. I don't share my entire project. I just share my particular tile. See, I don't have to share my entire screen. Say suppose I am trying to do this, okay, and I am just confused over these things. Okay, I have created a rectangle, I have created a square. Okay, I just don't know what type of square I want over here. So what I will do is I'll share it with the people. Say suppose designer head. Okay, I'll share it with him. I'll get on the updates and just he will be able to see this particular thing. This particular thing which I'm sharing, nothing else. And after that, if I after the getting the updates, I'll make the necessary changes over the main design. So suppose this is the main design, I will make the necessary changes over here and then I will share it with him, and I can pretty much get the basics of it. So what is the conclusion here? So what is the conclusion over here? If you want to design, if you want to have a good designing feature without getting into the nitty gritty of coding, and you want to do it quick and with having enough features and collaborative tools, and you don't have to, without installing it, just creating an account, Figma is your go-to option for design. I use it single time, if I every single time for designing, and I recommend highly for it. That's it folks, this is my review on Figma, this is my take on Figma. See you around.